June 30th was halftime for resin buyers. That's not a metaphor, even though it's tempting with the World Cup still going on. But if you're buying thermoplastic resin in North America, and that's polypropylene, polyethylene, nylon, polycarbonate, ABS, PVC, the first 6 months of the year are over. The nominations you got, the increases you accepted, the ones you push back on, that record is done. The question now is, what will you do moving forward in the second half? And I want to walk you through what the first half actually looked like from where we sit and what the buyers who are positioned for the second half are doing right now. The first half of 2026 was one of the most active nomination environments that we've tracked in recent memory. Well over 90 proposed price increases through quarter one alone across commodity resins and engineered material grades, multiple rounds on several resins, polypropylene, including PE, of course, polyethylene. Nylon saw multiple producers signal increases two times in a single quarter, and ABS, polycarbonate, and PVC were all active as well. So the justification letters that you got were pretty much the same, right? Feedstock costs and the Iran conflict, supply disruptions due to that, with force majeure language if that particular situation applied. Maybe geopolitical risk. Here is the thing. Some of that was real. We did see some feedstocks move, propylene, benzene, butadiene, very legitimate in certain areas, but legitimate cost pressure is not the same as a legitimate full price increase claim. It's the distinction that many buyers don't make, and it's the ones that cost them. So every number that you get from a nomination has an announced number and then one that settles in the market. So where buyers had market intelligence and contested the increase, the outcomes look dramatically different from what was originally proposed. On nylon 6 and 6.6, where buyers pushed back with data, 60 to 80% of the nominations were rejected. In polyethylene, we did see buyers who held firm, saw things roll flat in February. Now, in PVC, increases that came in at 5 cents settled at 1 to 2, where buyers contested with market data and perhaps maybe had an offshore Chinese vinyl already qualified in the supply chain. That gap between the announced and the actual number that is taken in the market, it's not random. It's the result of information asymmetry, and your supplier knows what's happening in the market. And if you don't, then they have pricing power that you're giving them by doing nothing or by the default situation. So here's what I'd be doing right now if I were running resin procurement for a small to mid-sized, even large processor. First, map your first half of the year increases by supplier, by family, ideally at the SKU level with what was proposed, what you accepted, and what the market actually did in that same time frame. You need tools to help you do that. Resin Smart's a solution. And that spread is your first half overpay exposure. Some of it may be unavoidable. Some of it likely was avoidable. Secondly, look at your forward exposure. Feedstocks have come down off the quarter one, early quarter two elevations. The forward-looking market is projecting, some relief continuing into quarter three and beyond across most resin families. So we all know that more nominations are going to be coming regardless. There is hurricane season that is about to ramp up in the Gulf. The question is whether you're building your case now or waiting to react. The third, assess your supplier relationships. So the ones who sent aggressive nominations in the first half of the year are going to be the ones that are going to do that in the second half. Knowing which ones, what will happen when you push back is your negotiation intelligence. And so it's important to log that and use that. On July 22nd, we are doing a live info session through the Plastics News. Stop Negotiating Blind. We'll cover exactly this, how buyers build the benchmark picture that's useful for them, how to use it in supplier conversations, and what the second half looks like from a market positioning standpoint. That'll be at 12:30 Central, and we'll drop the registration link in the comments here. And if you want to see what your program looks like against Resin Smart's real benchmarks, real transactional benchmarks in the market, and proprietary cost models, reach out. The benchmark assessment is where our conversations typically start. I'm Michael Workman with Resin Smart, and buy resin better this week than you did last. All right. Travel safe, and hope everybody had a great 4th of July.